This is the average salary of young professional in Bangalore. Now, if you wanted to buy a home here, how much of that salary should go towards your mortgage? 30%? 50%? Maybe even 80%? No, 126%. You heard that right. To buy a modest house in one of the India's fastest growing cities, a young professional would need to spend more than their entire salary just on the monthly loan payment.
Widening gap between marketable supply.
I do feel responsible that we are not able to make affordable housing happen in the marketplace. I am sorry.
In much of Western world, retiring your whole life is a lifestyle choice. In India, it's closer to verdict. There is an old phrase describing the three essentials of life: roti, kapada, makan, which means food, clothing, and a home. For generations, home wasn't just shelter, it was proof a family had made it, proof you could be trusted with a loan, with a daughter's hand in marriage, with respect in the neighborhood. A house in India isn't really an asset, it's an identity. For most families, it's also the only retirement plan they will ever have, and it's primary way wealth passes from parents to children. So when we say young Indians can't afford a home, we are not just describing a financial inconvenience. We are describing a rupture in one of the oldest social contracts in the country, and the numbers say that rupture is very real. Let's understand it. So, if owning a home is such an important milestone in India, what exactly went wrong? After reading a lot of reports, looking through housing data, and comparing cities across India, I realized something surprising. Almost every explanation could be traced back to just three problems. But before we understood these three problems, we need to understand price to income ratio. Imagine you earn 10 lakh per year and an average house in your city costs 50 lakh, meaning the house costs 5 times of your income. Generally speaking, anything around 3 to 5 is considered affordable, around 6 to 8 becomes difficult, and about 10 you're entering the crisis territory. Now look at India. Mumbai sits around at 14, Delhi NCR is around 10, and several major cities continue moving in the wrong direction. And that brings us to our first problem, which is over the last decade, property prices in many Indian cities have accelerated dramatically. Meanwhile, salaries have grown much more slowly. The gap between these two lines have become wider every single year. And the problem gets even worse when you consider the down payment.
India's real estate boom has had one big fallout: affordable and mid-income housing. Homes that working salaried families can actually afford have nearly vanished. Now ask any developer and you'll hear the same complaint. There's simply no margins left in building middle-class projects. Here are the hard facts which we'll tell you on Let's Get Real. Now, according to Anirok research, in 2018, over 52% of new homes in India's top 7 cities were priced under 50 lakh rupees. By 2025, that number has fallen to just 17%. Forget even 50 lakhs. You know, if you're living in a large city, it's increasingly hard to find an apartment priced at under 1.5 crore rupees in any of the top 7 cities of India, especially close to business hubs. And I'm talking about 8 to 10 kilometer radius. Now, based on the 5 times income thumb rule, if you want to buy a home that costs 1.5 crore rupees, you need to be earning net of taxes an annual income of 30 lakh rupees per annum. Now, on the other hand, in the same period between 2018 to 2025, there's been a massive 170% increase in luxury home sales costing 3 crores and upwards. The Anirok report actually concludes with this very powerful line. It says India's real estate market now clearly favors the rich.
And this still leaves a huge question unanswered. If millions of Indians need affordable homes, why isn't the market building them? That's what our problem too is. Luxury housing was exploding across cities like Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, and Gurugram. Developers were launching more premium projects, more luxury towers, and more ultra high-end apartments than ever before. In some cities, luxury sales surged up more than 50% in a single year, which creates a strange contradiction. People who need homes the most are struggling to buy, yet the homes being built are increasingly designed for the people who are already wealthy. So, why would developers do this? The answer is brutally simple. Because luxury housing is far more profitable. Imagine if you are a developer who owns a valuable piece of land. You have two choices. You can build 50 affordable apartments, or you can buy a luxury project on the same land. The affordable project might help more families, but the luxury project often generates significantly higher profit margins. So, and from a business perspective, this choice became obvious.
Markets are far beyond developers. You have to understand that there is opportunity for small developers, mid developers, big developers. There is opportunity of tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. And when we talk about the entire marketplace, obviously, there is something far beyond just thinking that developers control the market. It's not like that. The market is far bigger than any developer. But of course, the developers have a big role. And I do feel responsible that we are not able to make affordable housing happen in the marketplace. I am sorry.
And that's why the housing crisis feels so frustrating. And that brings us to the third and perhaps most uncomfortable problem, because if Gen Z isn't buying these homes, who is? If ordinary young Indians are struggling to afford homes, who exactly is buying all of them? The answer reveals something much bigger than real estate, because this isn't just a housing story anymore, it's a wealth story. According to multiple studies, the richest 1% of Indians control over 40% of country's wealth. Let that sink in for 1 second. 1% and a population of 1.4 billion people, which means people bidding for homes increasingly aren't first-time buyers. They are investors, families that already own multiple properties, people whose housing decisions are based on investment returns rather than monthly salaries. For them, a property isn't necessarily a home, it's an asset. And that's a completely different way of thinking.
Now, we are staring at a situation of 3 crore urban home shortages, right? The whole market is now moving towards luxury and premium. It's not okay just to come and slap developers and say, why are you moving into the segment for the wealthy? That's what's happening to cars. That's what's happening to the wealth in the country, getting concentrated at the top. But this is not a purchase which is not critical to people's good well-being life, which essentially means it's roti, kapda or makan.
Over the last few decades, millions of Indians have moved abroad, and many have done extraordinarily well. Now imagine earning a salary in dollars and looking at Indian real estate prices. And this is where the entire picture finally comes together. The housing crisis isn't happening because India stopped growing. In fact, India is growing rapidly. The problem that is different parts of society are growing at different speeds. 3 problems, 1 outcome: an entire generation watching the dream of home ownership drift further away. If you like these kind of deep dives and case studies, you have to do one thing, that is subscribe, and subscribe. Thank you for sticking till the end. If you want to say anything, if you want to give any feedback, please let me know in the comment box. I'll be very happy to give a reply to you. And let's see in the next video.